Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my podcast. So today I'm going to be talking about what it's like living with ADHD and how hard it is. Not technically how hard it is, but before I start, please hit that subscribe button, notification button. And if you hear any noises in the background, it's more than likely the TV downstairs or it's the dogs or something else. Now, I I've been wanting to do an episode like this for a while because there's a lot of things out there about ADHD, attention hyperactive disability, and everything like that. And I just been wanting to talk about it for a long time. I just didn't know how to go about it. Been living with ADHD since I've been 4 years old. I was diagnosed with it by a neurologist. I saw 4 different doctors. I think I talked about this on a previous podcast episode that I told you guys that I was going to get into it. But the one thing that everybody, there's a lot of people that have come out with being diagnosed with ADHD. Some people have was diagnosed with it when they were a kid, and then some people were diagnosed with it when they were adults, when they became adults because their parents didn't get them looked at. But the hardest thing that I had to go through was being demonstration against because of the fact that I have ADHD. It is very difficult for me to do certain things in my life because people demonstrated against me because of it. Getting a job, or getting my grade 12 diploma or things like that. Like when I was going through school, I was having difficulties in school, and I was like, I wanted to be a cop, I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be all these kind of like professional things that I wanted to do for a living. And I was told by teachers, I was told by people that I couldn't do it. And I always believed in that aspect that I couldn't do anything. And then I guess the one day I just thought about it, I was like going, okay, so I'm living at home with my parents and I'm pretty much, I got to learn, I need to learn about ADHD. I need to learn about the disability I have. I need to learn about why I'm the way I am, or how come I'm the way I am. Maybe it might explain to me a little bit more. So I went out and bought some books. Sorry guys, I went out and got some books and I looked it up. I looked up what ADHD was. I looked up what causes ADHD. How did I, it's a neurologic, I can't even talk right, neurologic problem in your brain. If you go to I can't explain it right, but if you go to some Instagram posts and things like that, if you go to my Instagram, I've shared a lot of things about ADHD on it. It was ADHD awareness, the 1 month. I didn't know it was, and if I did know, I would have been talking about it. I would have been saying something about it. But just getting awareness out there is the biggest thing, because people take ADHD and they look at someone with ADHD and thinks that they can't do anything, or they can't, the only thing that's wrong with us is we can't sit for a long period of time. We fiddle with our hands. We have to play with stuff all the time, or we see something going on in the other room. We got to keep concentration when we're doing some other stuff. That's the only thing that's wrong with, pretty much wrong with us. We're still human, still can do things like humans can, normal people can, but we learn differently. Our brains work differently. We lose things. I lose my keys. I lose my cell phone. I lose, pretty much. I sometimes don't have the motivation to do things. I just want to sit down and relax and watch TV and go to sleep, things like that. And, the problem with a lot of people with the stigmatism of ADHD, some people really do get it wrong. And some people think that it is a learning disability, but it's something that I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to have to link some things down below. But I read ADHD 2.0, and I did a review on it, on that book, a while back on my book channel. And I'll link that video down below here so you can see it. You can watch it. But that explains on what I've went through. I was born in 83, and I had blood work done. I've had CAT scans done. The one I can remember a time, if this is triggering for you, I'm really sorry. I can remember a time when I was a kid. I was up at the London Hospital, which is in London, Ontario, because I'm from Canada. And I actually doctors had to check me or do an x-ray or something like that. And they gave me a popsicle and they gave me a pill to take, which would help me sleep while they're looking at me so I wouldn't be moving around. And, when you wake up in front of a bunch of doctors hovering over you, looking at you and everything as a child, you do get scared and that, right? And I start waking up because of it. Sorry, I have a cold. I start waking up and everything like that, and I'm scared and everything like that, and I don't know where I am, and then, they checked me and everything like that. And then the one time I went to London's hospital, University's hospital, to get a CAT scan done on my head and my brain and everything, and my doctor told me at the time, who was my family physician, they lost the CAT scans. So they didn't know really what was going on in my brain or anything, because they lost the CAT scans. That whatever they did, and I went into this device, and sometimes I can be very claustrophobic, and it was like, yeah, I don't want to be here, like, get me out of here type of thing. I was a kid at the time. And then he sent me to balance in person, where I had to take, like, just go sorry for TMI, my bra and underwear, and where she made me walk across the thing because my balance was off, which my balance is always off. I knock into things, I trip, I drop things when I have them in my hand, or I go downstairs and I forget something up here. Pretty much that explains me. And I lose things easily, and I can't find them until the next week. But yeah, like, pretty much, like, when I want to do something, I can focus on it, but then 1 minute I don't focus on it. And yeah, like, it's very difficult. I do drive, and there is times when I'm driving and I'm listening to music and I can lose concentration sometimes. But yeah. So, but sorry guys, I'm just fixing my thing. But yeah, like, that's just typical. You lose things. You lose your keys, you lose your pens, or you lose your hairnet or your hair elastics, or you pretty much you can lose your mind and everything like that, right? But yeah, like, but I'm just so baffled, because people really misunderstand ADHD, attention hyperactive disability. If you read ADHD Notion, it's based in the States, and I read it. I think I listened to it on an audio, and what I was listening to was a bunch of things that were just unbelievable, what they used to do in the States to these kids who had ADHD. Like, pretty much 3/4 of the United States back in the 60s and the 70s, and you can go back and fact check it in that book, they were medicated, like, and pretty much kids who were having difficulties in school and difficulties here, teachers automatically, and they did it here in Canada, but totally different. When I was a kid, they medicate the kids because they believed that the kids had ADHD, and some of the kids probably didn't even have ADHD, and they were misdiagnosing them. But yeah, like, just go back, just read that book, fact check it, and if you want to send me a message, you can send me a message on my Instagram, self-care love, or send me, message on my podcast. But yeah, like, when I was a kid, when I was born, I was born in 1983, and my mom had difficult giving birth, and they used the vacuum on my head and the vice grips on the back of my head, to get me out. And yeah, like, pretty much, sorry about that. That was my computer. But yeah, like, it's like, when I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with it, and, my life changed after that. But before that, I had a lot of issues. I had a behavior issue. I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't sit down. So there was something wrong with me. But my mom went through a lot with me as a child. She still goes through a lot with me, because, I have the mindset of a child, probably, but I'm a 40-year-old woman. Like, I just turned 40 just recently, and yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. But like, it's not difficult. Like, I can cope with living with it, but at the same time, sometimes I get very frustrated and very, very uptight. My stress goes up. I get very excited. I get, like, temperamental. I can get pissy. I get mad, pretty much, and like, it sometimes it can be difficult to live with. Sometimes it might not be difficult to live with. It depends on how people treat it. I don't take medication for it. I choose not to take medication for it. It's pro-choice. Like, I'm like I choose not to. I do have a thyroid condition where I do take medication for that, but you know, trying to get the motivation, trying to get the courage. Sometimes my mind will tell me, well, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You just go sit down and do nothing. Like, and I'd be watching TV and I'd be like going, okay, 1 minute I'll be doing something and I'll forget what I'm doing. And then the next minute I will be talking about something and then I'll change the subject. Like, it's just part of what I do. And, yeah, it's like, wow. So when people say, well, when people stand there with ADHD people and they have a conversation with them and then they seem to change the subject or change this conversation, it's not that we don't want to talk about it. It's just that there's something else on our mind that we want to talk about, and we're not trying to be rude or inconsiderate or nasty towards you. It's just we have something else on our mind. I do it all the time to my family. I do it to my sister and my mom. I could be on one conversation and go on to another conversation that's going on. And it'd be like, yeah, well, this is what's going on. And then they'll be talking about something. And then they'll look at me going, why are you talking about that? We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about this. And I'd be like going, oh, okay, what were you guys talking about? So my daughter, Emma, she has ADHD. She's on medication for it. And she's doing pretty good with it, but she has a hard time focusing at school. She's on medication, but I'm not. I choose not to be. But yeah, like sometimes things do work, sometimes they don't. I have a tendency of rambling, forgetting to do things that I'm doing. Oh, I could be sitting there and I could be doing something. It takes me like a while to, but at the same time, it takes me a while to get into a book. I have to listen to an audio. Right now I'm listening to an audio from this one guy. I read his one book. And it takes a long time for me to read a book. It might take me 2 months or 3 months to read a book. But when I'm on audio, it takes me like a day to read it. And because like I just listened to the audio on 2.0 to get it done. And my goal this year was supposed to be 99 books. And I just haven't been in the mood to read. Like I haven't had the motivation or anything like that. Even with my workouts, I went down to 236 and now I'm back up to 239 to almost 245. Like I'm almost back in the 240s and it's like going, that's not what I wanted and that's not what I'm trying to do. So yeah, like just getting the motivation to do things and getting your mindset set on things and it's difficult with having ADHD, I guess. No, I know it is because I have difficulties every day with it. I can work and everything like that. I'm about to start a course in January 1st. I'm about to start a course. I was going to do graphic design, but I was like thinking to myself, like, I don't even know how to do any of that stuff. But if I do it, maybe I might learn how to do it. But yeah, like I want to do maybe office administration or graphic designs. But I know that there's a lot of people out there who have ADHD who does this kind of stuff, and it comes by easily for them. Me, I don't know if I have any talent or any of that stuff. But when you're sitting there and you're doing nothing, like I've been writing. I'm almost done my one journal that I've been working on since 2020, like with this podcast, and I've just been, busy doing that and getting things off my mind. I'm sorry about that. Getting things off my mind and everything like that. And I just, if my son calls again, I gotta take that phone call. But, if I just, I don't know, like, if I just set my mind to it, I know I can do it. If I can't set my mind to it, then I got a real freaking problem. But if I can, like, easily just say, this is what I want to do, I got to do it. And I just got to put my mind to it. But sometimes I have difficulties putting my mind to it. Sometimes I have difficulties doing certain things. I am supposed to be doing a fitness challenge. I'm with this Inspire program, and I haven't been in the mood. I've been tracking my food. I have been doing all of that. But it's just been the motivation, wanting to do it and not wanting to do it. Like I don't want to do it, but I know I have to do it because I want to be healthy. I want to be fit for my kids. I want to be here longer for my kids. I'm 40 years old. In 10 years, I'm going to be 50. But yeah, like, the difficult thing about the whole, like, it's not difficult. Like, if I don't make sense, I'm so sorry. But those 2 books I do recommend. Go check them out. But I think the major problem is that it's a stigma towards ADHD and it's a demonstrated, like, I went to job interviews and everything like that. And then when I get in there, I trust people, and I tell them I have ADHD, and then I had this done to me, they go all around the factory, or they go all around and telling everybody, well, Joanna has ADHD. And then they come to me and they treat me differently. And I don't like being treated differently. I like being treated equally, because if I get treated equally, that's good for me. But if I get treated differently because of my disability, because of what I can and cannot do, like I worked at this one place with a friend of mine, and she's the one who actually went around and told everybody I had ADHD. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want nobody knowing, because it was my business, nobody else's. And she went and told our supervisor, and my supervisor went back and told my manager who hired me. And my manager came and took me off the job I was doing and put me in and put me in a different area because of my disability. And that's the way I feel about it. And that day I was like, no, enough is enough. You treat me equally. Like, come on here. So what happened was I walked out, and then I wrote a 2-page, because it was my supervisor who was bullying me. I wrote a 2-page thing and saying what was going on. And the same friend that I was friends with got me fired from my last job, doing a cleaning job, to give to my cousin. And then she told her I had ADHD. What kind of friend is that? When you tell your friend something, your friend shouldn't go back and tell the bosses that you have ADHD. Like, it's like with being on Ontario Disability Support Program. You don't want not a lot of people to know, because they look at you and you go, what? You're on ODSP? Like, come on here. And you're working? And that's a demonstrated against you. It's a stigma towards you, because you're different, because you're on ODSP, or you have ADHD, or you have this wrong or that wrong with you. And people look at you and go, well, we don't want you working for us if you're on ODSP, or we don't want you working for us because you have a disability. Like, that is not right. And that happens in the society we have today, is that people demonstrate against people with disabilities, and they demonstrate against people who are on ODSP and welfare and everything. There could be mental health issues wrong with these people that are on ODSP, or something seriously wrong with them. And the sad part is we have employers and managers who do the interviews who believes that, someone on ODSP can't have a job, or somebody who has ADHD cannot have a job. That is wrong. That is totally wrong in so many levels. Like, I've been looking for a job. I've been applying at jobs, and I have not gotten a call once. And it's like going, okay. But at the same time, I don't have my grade 12. That's even like a stigma towards me, because I don't have my grade 12. I never graduated from high school and everything like that. But you should give me a chance, because I could be a hard-working person and put my mind on it and do it. But they won't hire me because, I'm not what they want, or I'm not the type of person, or I don't have that, that proper experience doing all that stuff. But I've worked in grocery stores. I've worked in factories and everything like that. I've worked in fast-paced environments, and that too. And there is some managers out there that are pretty good to you. They hire you, they work with you, and everything. My first job was with Zara's, and I got treated very badly there. Like, I was trying to transfer out of doing cashier and bagging groceries, and I was going to get into bakery, and I quit because of that, because I felt like they were mistreating me, or I felt like I was being discriminated against, or I was being judged because of my disability. I went for a job interview at Walmart. I've gone for 3 job interviews at Walmart. Not once have gotten the job, but I presented myself really nicely. Dressed it properly and everything like that, and I never got the job. And it was like, it was in my hometown, and it was like, okay, so you're not gonna hire me because I don't have I have experience working in retail, and you don't want to hire me? Like, come on here. Like, I need this job. And I've always wanted to work at Walmart since I was a kid, and I've always wanted to work at this one place. And like I said to you in the previous thing, like, I went and handed an application in at Bootleggers, when Bootleggers was around when I was younger. And I handed an application to the manager, and the manager was like, do you really think I'm going to hire you? I'm not going to hire you. And she ripped it up right in front of me. And it was like going, you're not going to give me a chance to get a job here. Are you serious? I've never had a job, and I want a job in realty. and clothing line, and you're not going to give me that opportunity, but you're willing to give everybody else around me an opportunity, but not me. So you're going to discriminate against me and stigmatism against me because I'm different than the next person. I wanted to say that to her. And it's the thing, I run into it all the time with people when I work with them. They treat me differently because of my disability, or they treat me differently because I'm on ODSP, and they feel I shouldn't be in that job. Well, I'm sorry that I want to work. I have to claim my income and everything like that. But it's hard when you have a disability. It's very hard. And I think a lot of people can say that too. It's very hard. But now these days there is discriminated against bullying, against employers taking a hit at you because you're different, or, all of that. And what needs to happen is that people need to learn that they can't do this to people, like, at all. Like, it's uncalled for. It's not nice. If you're going to be like that in a job, and you're going to present yourself like that in a job, you shouldn't have that job. And that's my opinion. But I'm not going to rat on you. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, like, I had to write a three page on that thing, because on that problem where I was working because of it. And I didn't want to, but I did. And the money was good, but I couldn't work in an environment like that, because it was wrong of me to work in an environment like that, because I was stressed out. I don't like confrontation. I don't like, I just got a car at that time, and it was my first ever car that I had on payments, and I was trying to make payments to it, but I had my friend stabbing me in my back. That's why I'm not friends with her anymore. She constantly stabs me in the back because she wants to social climb the ladder and everything like that. But she went around and told everybody I had ADHD. It was my job to tell everybody that. It wasn't her job. It was my decision if I wanted people to know I have ADHD. And it takes a lot for me to sit here and talk to you guys about this, because seriously, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to allow people to tell my story, tell my problems to people? Like, I I have difficulties already to tell people how I feel and everything, and stand up for myself, and that's just me. But as for my ADHD, I do forget things. I do forget, like, I'd find something later, 2 days later, I lose my remote constantly and everything like that. And it's like, it's a driving, I don't know if it drives you guys nuts, but it drives me nuts. When I go looking for my keys, I can't find my keys, and I'm looking around the house, I'm getting frustrated. It's so upsetting. And then when you go looking for your water bottle, you can't find your water bottle. If you go looking for your book that you're reading, you can't find your book. It's so frustrating because your mind is on something else. It's not on that thing you're looking for. So yeah, like, go read the ADHD 2.0 and the ADHD Notion. I am going to be reading something else because I'm trying to educate myself on ADHD because of my daughter and because of me. My daughter and I, we do get along, even though we both have ADHD. She asks me questions and I tell her how it is, like, how I feel. I can't sleep at night half of the time because my mind just won't. Like, she takes clotidine to help her sleep. And I can't shut my mind down, and I have trouble sleeping, and I will watch TV or something like that. One of my coaches that I work with has ADHD, and she knows how it feels. But yeah, like, it's very difficult to, it's not difficult to live your life with ADHD if you know how to live your life with ADHD. If your parents teach you, or if someone's teaching you on what it's like to live with ADHD, yeah, like, you can do it. And I know I can do it. I call it going into La La Land when you doze off and everything like that. You're sitting there and you're staring off into the bliss or something like that. I really don't know how to explain that. Like, you're just, like, completely dozed off. And sometimes there's times when I've done it when I'm recording or when I'm doing this. Sometimes I can't even get out what I want to say because I just can't get it out, and I don't know how to bring it out because I just don't want anybody doing criticism against me or criticizing me. But yeah, like, I have a phone call coming in like 8 minutes for this school that I'm signed that I signed up for this graphic design program or office administration. I'm gonna see if I can get it changed. So yeah, like it's just, I have to learn how to deal with it. I'm reading up. I'm gonna start reading up on how to help myself with ADHD. If meditation helps, if certain things or certain foods will help with trying to balance out my brain levels and everything like that. Because I could tell you one thing right now. My right side works perfectly in my brain. My left side, it's practically dead. And that's what they found when they did the CAT scans. That's what I was told. Now, if it's not true, then I don't know. But yeah, like certain things that I find out from my mom, but at the same time going to the doctor and everything. I have been in therapy. I've been trying to get the help I need because of my mental health too, because my mental health is affected by my ADHD. Just hold a second. My mental health is affected by my ADHD sometimes, like when I get upset or get uptight or when I get excited or when I just, I just want to, I get mad or I get angry or I get frustrated because I can't figure something out or I get uptight. And now what I've done is like I'm starting to do is just walk away from it and then come back to it, because that is just the way to do things these days. Is that's what I do, is just walk away from it and then think and then hover over it and go, okay, so I can't do it this way, I gotta do it that way. So when I finally get it done, it's like accomplishment for me. When I was working out all the time, I was losing the weight and everything, and now it's just like I don't want to do it. Like I know I gotta take my laptop down there, do the workout and do it, but it's just like my mindset is not on working out, it's on other things. But yeah, like I can go on and on about this on what it's like to live with ADHD. It's very difficult, but I can live out on my own. I'm a very dirty person. I'm not a very dirty person, but I'm a very unorganized person. I hate it now. Like I have to have things in place. Like right now, my desk is like a disaster right now, but I'm sitting at it. I have to have it, my room. Like I'm trying to get my room to a certain place where I can just, be comfortable in it and I don't have to feel claustrophobic. My desk is so cluttered. My room is cluttered. I have things all over the place. Sometimes I just don't want to clean. Like it's just so difficult because you're not so organized or you're not so clean, and it's like going, okay, I gotta do something about that. But yeah, like when I do a to-do list, I don't do it all because it's like going, I just want to sit down and do nothing. Like it took me a lot to do this episode specifically because of the thing, because I didn't want to upset anybody. But yeah, like this is the truth. Go watch some TikToks, go watch some Instagram posts or some reels, and they'll show you the real life of what it's like to live with ADHD. I might actually do a video about it, so if you want to see a video about it, comment down below in this video. But like I said, I got an appointment at 2:30, so I gotta hurry this up. But yeah, like unorganized, declutter. Like I hate the way that everything is. Like everything's all over the place. Like I have books and everything. I'm trying to get my bookshelf under control. My bed's always a disaster. Just certain things that just irks the heck out of me. And it's like going, I gotta fix this. I gotta do something, because if I don't do anything, I'm just gonna be like going, oh, okay. I just can't do it. But even sticking on one conversation, I can't even do it. Like I said, like I can't, because it's like, okay, well, you gotta stick on this conversation, and if you don't stick on this conversation, then we're gonna move on to another conversation, and it's kind of confusing for people, and that. So yeah, like oh wow, like I don't know what else to talk about. Like driving, my car, I can't handle my car being dirty. I can't handle the garbage in my car sometimes. I don't have a car right now because I sent my car back because I couldn't afford the payments. That's what it's like. I had to choose which one is important, car payments or roof over our heads. And a roof over our heads is more important than a car right now. But I'm going to be saving up because I'm doing these challenges. I'm like doing these saving challenges that I saw that everybody's doing on the budget thing. So that will be coming out as budget videos coming out to Declare for to save up some money. I'm going to try. That's the other thing. Like I can't save worth of crap. I can't save any money. I want to take a trip next year, at the end of next year, to be able to do that. But yeah, like it's like, oh, why can't I do this? I want to do this so bad. But yeah, like but anyhow, I'm gonna end this podcast episode. If you want to hear more about my ADHD, I will tell you about my ADHD. But I have an appointment in like 3 minutes, and I want to get this video up and everything like that, so that you guys can see it and I can link it and everything like that. But yeah, like I know I was in the garage last time, but now I'm here. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you for letting me rant and rave and things like that, because like I don't usually do that, and I really appreciate it. but I'm going to put the video up today, plus put this episode up right as soon as I get off. And I will be trying my best to do more uploads and to do all that. Like, I've put some shorts up and everything. If you want to go check out my YouTube channel, I'll link it down below. If you want to see my Instagram, I'll link that all down below. But yeah, like, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification button, and I hope you like this video. Thank you. Bye.